Okay, as we open up this message, I'm not even fully prepared, but I feel like you're not even prepared for all the versions of self that you hold within your entire being. 1414 is a possibilities card. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it up and tell you the message from it real quick, and then we're going to jump in. But it literally reminds me of a seed. Like, you're this seed that is underneath the soil, and within the seed holds the DNA, which within the nucleus of the DNA is the memory of the tree that it will inevitably evolve into. Yet, for some reason, it's mistaking its seed formation as its final destination. So all the versions within you that you are yet to evolve into, I'm hearing lay dormant, awaiting to be discovered. And this is like hidden potential. And I'm gonna share with you some messages that came through, and then we're gonna get into it. Okay, this is it's actually a really exciting message, but it has this layer of depth. Let me see 1414 real quick. I feel like I'm going on a bunch of side quests just opening up with your message. Okay. I'm still trying to connect this thing, but I don't know. It's like we're starting the message before I feel fully ready. So you could feel like you're being invoked into doing certain things within your experience, like you're being invited to interrupt your comfort zone in some way. Okay, possibilities card is build strong foundations, allows you to create stability and welcome in possibilities. So I'm seeing this as your internal foundation, right? Because 4 is an internal layer within yourself. It's this introspective layer. 1 is the new beginning that creates the 5, which is the emergence of some type of change. And I'm seeing it as change that occurs as you begin to grow. Your life experiences or external reality begins to reorganize and reconfigure itself around that internal growth. And I'm seeing it as not just things that you've outgrown, okay, systems and belief systems that you've outgrown. I'm hearing that model and outdated kind of behavior or way that you used to previously navigate this construct, but instead what it is you're growing into. It feels like that type of energy of what it is you're growing into. Okay, let me continue, right? We have so much to say. Okay, all possibilities exist and are amplified when gratitude is felt for the foundations that are in place. This I'm seeing is a foundation within you that you have been able to return back to. And the affirmation is, I'm grateful for all that is and all that will be. And I trust in the possibilities of what I desire or something greater. That something greater is unfolding. I'm seeing before you, but it's because it's being experienced through you. And I'm going to tell you what I mean in a moment. Let me just catch you up to speed real quick. So 1414, that's your first message. It's like you haven't yet lived all the moments that are going to reshape your understanding. You haven't yet met, I don't know, people on your path that are going to completely alter the frameworks in how you're viewing maybe yourself on this planet Earth or your own potential. I'm just seeing new timelines of experience becoming accessible to you. You have not yet, okay, it's like this version of you has not yet met all the opportunities that await you within the continuum that you're transversing right now, that you're embarking on. But I'm seeing it as an ecosystem filled with people, experiences, opportunities that await you. I'm seeing that await the arrival of the version of self that you are becoming, that is within you. Okay, it's like the DNA. How do I explain this? It's like the Akashic field, and within your DNA holds the potential of everything that you can become and everything in which you've been. So it's about who you've been versus whom it is that you're becoming. Spirit keeps showing me the butterfly scene, and it reminds me of the astral travel reading that I did, where I think I said stop scrolling. I've seen you in the astral realm and you're closer than you think. So this is definitely being reactivated during this time. So I'm going to link that down below. Okay, anyway, 1414, it reminded me of the dark energy card. So I'm going to read this for you. Dark energy basically talks about untapped potential. It is the mystery and undiscovered potential. Dark energy is the most prevalent in the universe, and it's of unknown energy. It's in the darkness where we find our most valued talents, passions, and motivations. Oh, I'm seeing something that you discover within, but it's like, what are you going to do with it? You know, it's like there is options available, but how are you going to, I'm hearing, participate in the creation, in the act of creation with life itself? The darkness is not about going down to the basement to look for pain, but dark energy is universally defined as unknown energy. And that's the quantum realm. It's things that you have not yet, explored in a linear fashion, but already exist. And so the path unfolds before you like a memory, for it already exists within the field. What if you're being a certain version of yourself, thinking that that's all of your potential? What if there's a lot more to discover by turning on the flashlight? And this talks about there being a lot more to discover. So the flashlight I always see it as ultraviolet rays, like ultraviolet bandwidths of frequency light, which allow you to tune into more subtle realms. It is the hidden architecture behind this story, and I'm seeing it as the blueprint itself. Before you go to build a structure, you have this blueprint, and I'm seeing this as the foundation or the layout or the essence behind what it is that the soul's desiring to experience through form. The other thing that was coming through was not everybody is going to experience this transition from who you've been into whom it is that you're becoming in this gracious or poised way. Some, it's very evident that there is a resistance to the inevitable evolution of of the self, okay? And for others, there is this gentle art of surrender, and what it is that we surrender becomes the reason for our transformation. What it is that we accept from what was, I'm hearing what can no longer be, and what is becoming. We begin to neutralize our relationship to, allowing us to return to becoming a vessel of possibility. The message I was getting was, humans can say that they love you with their lips, yet their heart seems so far away. And perhaps that's because the human is yet to reconnect with the dormant potential that also exists within them. The statement insinuates that how can someone be truly present within the eternal now? And if you've been here, you always hear me talk about love being a state of awareness. Love becomes the internal foundation that you build to trust yourself as you navigate this next series of changes. You can trust your own process of evolution as you extend and expand and branch far beyond familiar territory or your comfort zone or a reference point, what it is that you've always known. I'm seeing as you drift the course away from a landmark that you once anchored into. And I'm seeing as you extend, I was seeing branches, like you're branching back into the very systems that you emerged from. And I'm seeing that as the quantum realm, the infinite realm, like you're tuning back into your infinite potential of how that octave of you would look materialized. How would they think? How would they feel? How would they navigate this system? And how would that differ? It's the ability to be seated within the stillness and observe the intricacies and complexities of our surroundings in this material plane. And so how can someone be seated in this stillness of the eternal now when they have not yet been seated inside of the stillness of their own heart yet? Always susceptible to change. And so there's something around understanding your own transformation in a way that doesn't need to be understood by the external world and what that may look like. And I'm seeing as the authentic path, what feels authentic to you and your innate soul's expression at this stage of your evolution. So we're going to do a reading on this, but I want to read to you this quote by Morpheus in the Matrix, right? And this is what kind of inspired this message because it's all about remembering yourself. Morpheus says to Neo, "Because I believe in something that you do not, No. I stand here without fear because I remember. And I was seeing it as, what if remembering is not only you looking backwards within space-time in that linear fashion of, what has occurred throughout your space-time travels, but what if you're actually remembering the person that you've always been destined to become? And when I talk about destined, of course, there's infinite destinies. Again, reality is not static. It's a continuous summation of infinite quantum paths. So we're constantly choosing between our most destructive potential and our more creative, conducive, productive potential in this plane. And that is potential to impact either way. Yet they hold different bandwidths. They hold different quality of exchanges. And I'm seeing it as, it being able to embody the highest possible expression of yourself. How would they navigate this construct? How graceful or poised could you move through life's changes, being connected to, I'm seeing it as the eye of the heart, seeing life on earth through the lens of the heart space, of your interconnectedness to all things, being seated inside of the eternal now, being present. I kind of see it as a time dilation bubble in many ways. As the eternal being returns to themselves, experiencing these temporal moments through time, there is almost a wormhole effect because you experience time very differently. That's like the teleportation reading that I did from the outside world. It looks like you've stepped into the wormhole and you're going through this recalibration where you're literally birthing a new self into being. It really reminds me of the moon maiden energy. So I'm actually going to find that card. It's very symbolic. But it's like a hidden transformation internally where you're not the same person coming out of the wormhole or coming out on the other side of this experience. It could be a conversation, it could be an opportunity, it may be a trip. Then you were entering into it. And so people see you go from point A to point B, but they didn't see the transformation that occurred inside of the, quantum tunnel or inside of the wormhole. So that's what I'm seeing. There's some type of like hidden transformation that may be occurring. Maybe some of you, in more practical, logical ways of how I would apply this, it could be a project that you're working on. Even if you are that project, it may be decisions that you're making to change or shift your life's trajectory. But I'm seeing something kind of shift there, right? So let me go ahead and get the Moon Maiden card up. It is in the Shaman's Dream Oracle message. And what is the shaman? It's the one that journeys into other worlds. Yet the journey is often within the internal realms. It's usually within the internal world. Let me show you. It's funny because I'm like, sometimes this is how we be doing tarot nowadays, It's like, I just see it in here. And Spirit's like, yeah, that's the message that's coming through. And that's the database inside of your own head. So this is the message. Oh, we have a dark energy making its way. Moon Maiden. So even the moon has a dark side too, right? Even the moon has, mysterious waxing and waning phases that it moves through. So Moon Maiden, new beginning. I'm gonna go ahead and read it to you so I can do it justice. It's actually still to this day one of my favorite cards. Oh, we turn right to the page. Okay, we literally turn right there. So clearly, and it's about dead center in the book as well. All right, Moon Maiden, new ideas, beginnings, and curiosity. And we do have a full moon upcoming as well. So it could be this type of energy that you're feeling. The Moon Maiden arrives to offer you a new beginning, a new face, a new facet of yourself that's aching to be shown to the world. Those qualities you've been quietly cultivating are ready for the limelight. The secrecy was important, for it protected your new face and kept what was precious close to your heart. But now's the time to come forward in a full splendor, announce the new you to yourself fast, and reveal it slowly to the world like the waxing moon. Allow others to be as surprised by how mature and grown up this side of you is. Now it's time to set yourself free. So there's an energy of, don't mistake this form of maybe going through this internal recalibration period as your final form, okay, or the final destination. Allow others to be a surprise, The moon maiden belongs only to herself, and she's summoning the parts of you that challenge convention and that refuse to be intimidated, and that cannot be tamed or put inside of a golden cage. Again, a lot of this is not just breaking free from your own even neuroplasticity, where there are certain synapses that have been formed, like inroads and just unconscious behavioral mechanisms, and how you've moved through this system and moved through this construct that have just been on autopilot. You're beginning to break free from those habitual conditioned responses. I'm seeing reactions, and you're beginning to respond to that differently. And so that could be breaking down the nucleus of a family. If you've been here, you've heard me speak about this so many times, where we draw in resonant network of experiences that are always in benefit for our soul's evolution, yet we do reach a point where the resonance of those experiences is something that we begin to evolve beyond as we heal those unconscious wounds that had drawn in those experiences together. I'm seeing that have fused those experiences together. And as you begin to no longer reinforce the expectations that those have had around you, that nucleus of the family slowly begins to break up. Okay, it slowly begins to break up, but simultaneously, what happens is you also begin creating new inroads. You create new reinforced ways of being that not only form these internal synapses within your brain and your neuroplasticity, but that also holographically is projected into this construct. And so you'll see that mirrored and reflected in the world around you. Why? Because it's as within, so without, as above, so below. So anyway, the moon maiden invites you to shine with your own light and have a radiant curiosity. Sorry. It's like, I don't know why. I'm sorry, my Venus is in Leo. Just one of those days. Okay, so the moon maiden invites you to shine with your own light, to have radiant curiosity, and ask anyone who offers you a mouthful of dogma, why do you believe this is so? Question everything others assume is a given, and do not collude with the trauma around you. Become an unpredictable being, yet an eminently reliable friend. This could be how you're being called to also become your own best friend, how you're being called to become your own, support system, your source of encouragement. You're not anyone's property as well, so be true to your soul's calling, even as some around you in a relationship or job want to capture your light inside of a bottle. Again, as you begin to reinforce new ways of being from how people have known you to be, it becomes incredibly disorientating for those around you. And it's because you're creating, I'm seeing a new foundational vibrational signature. Let's just say there's self-organized realms where, as you elevate within frequency, there are new behaviors that are modeled and that you also begin to embody, that you become inseparable from. So I'm seeing it's not even the path itself that you're walking, it's that you are embodying the path itself. It's the difference between knowing the path and actively walking it. And as you actively walk it, naturally, there's this divergence point that occurs. I'm seeing it's like a shift in continuums. I'm just seeing something around realigning your trajectories. So it could be a divergence point, but it also becomes a convergence point for you. Okay, so let's continue. You know how to rise to the occasion just unfailingly as the moon does. When the time comes, you return to darkness and become enshrouded in mystery until you're ready to return. So these are the natural cycles of the moon, and it just feels like as this cycle opens up, especially as we're coming closer to the Capricorn full moon now, I don't know, there's something that could be culminating within your expression. There is something that you could be closing out. There's something that may be illuminated to you in regards to dimensional aspects of yourself that have been suppressed, right? Entire dimensions of yourself that have been suppressed. I'm seeing we have to understand, okay, when we close off entire dimensions of ourself, we are closing off entire experiences available to us. Versions that we can experience ourselves as. For example, logical standpoint, right? Let's bridge the gap between the non-physical and physical. Let's say, okay, I have this really strong belief system that I am not going to travel. Okay, I am really scared of airplanes. I have no point of reference for them. I don't want to travel. I don't want to go outside of my comfort zone. I've never been outside of my hometown. This is a limited timeline of experiences available to me. Now, I'm just using this as an analogy. In many ways, you become imprisoned to that limited scale of timelines. Yes, there is still a plethora of experiences available to you, depending on what it is that you want to open yourself up to. And you can activate that. I also want to mention that there's different ways that you can activate that. For example, you could do something as small as exploring new places within your hometown. So you can slowly break outside of that mold of maybe I don't want to leave my house to maybe I'm going to sign up for this meditation class or this Zumba class or whatever your thing is, right? Or the thing that you want to be able to explore and experience. Or maybe I'm going to go to the park for a walk, or maybe I'm going to sign up to the gym, or maybe I'm going to do this thing. And you can begin to break free from these habitual conditional responses and see that as that happens, you open up new timelines of experience for yourself. You open up more of I'm saying you open yourself up more into the quantum realm, into the unknown. And that's quite literally the point. We have to see the unknown as not something to fear, but instead as a friend that holds new timelines of experience available to us. We don't know what that is, and that's the beauty. It could be opportunities, it could be people, it could be information, it could be synchronicities that you find in your path. It could be an epiphany that you're going to have as you walk down that road. We don't know how those nodal access points are going to, I'm seeing surface within our experience, how they're going to emerge within our experience. And so there's something around allowing yourself to be pleasantly surprised as you open up to that. And you may decide to do something more drastic in terms of like quantum leaping, right? You might decide to completely break free from the hometown and go out and explore and visit and travel into complete new territory, right? Like ninth house type of vibes. And as you do that, there could be cultural differences or experiences that you're having, perhaps even pilgrimages that you go on, or something that you are able to explore or experience within that lay of the land. Yeah, I'm seeing you're never really discovering anything new. You're just discovering what has always existed, awaiting for you to engage with, waiting for you to be receptive. So we are going to go ahead and pull a Gateway of the Light activation deck for this and see what the message is. And then, yeah, and another Navy. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. Arcturian light codes. This has been coming up a lot, okay? Arcturian light codes talks a lot about, you have star gathering, soul family energy here as well, and you have the crown chakra. Oh, and flipping from there, you also have Soul Star, which has the tetrahedron. So as the apex is pointed away from the material plane and towards the immaterial, it's calling you to immerse yourself back into the quantum realm. It's calling you to immerse yourself back into the adventure. I'm just seeing, the essence or the saying where people are like, I just do it for the love of the game. There's something around the love of the game of this entire universe. And evolutionary downloads could be, again, future thinking. You are experiencing yourself evolving into your future self. Does that make sense? So you're experiencing the becoming of everything that is encoded within you. It's the journey of your becoming. Oh, it's the journey of your becoming. Future thinking. Love it. Love it. Arcturian light codes. As we know, this is within the Libra archetype, if we look at the fixed stars. And so there's this sense of, I'm hearing not urgency, but also there's more of a responsibility, like conscious acts of creation. I'm seeing being seated inside the realm of internal understanding. You don't need to explain what this is. Right. The message is you can evolve into a greater state of being right now. This begins with how you approach even the most mundane tasks within your little universe. Show up in ways that you've never shown up before, which is very much the anomaly energy. Instead of checking out this planet, it's time to check in, right? What if it's not all just about ascending, but it's about spirit descending into matter, into form, to anchor heaven onto earth, to be able to anchor back into internal introspection, which becomes the foundation of remembering that you are free and that you've actually always been free. All right, instead of feeling like life is happening to you, realize that you have a huge part to play. Recall your power and realize that you are a part of the evolution of humanity, and it's time to become the leader that you were born to be. Doesn't matter if you're leading yourself or a larger group. The key is to create more loving ways of doing things. Again, more awareness in what it is that you're doing. I said this and I'll say it again. There is so much importance in being present in what it is that you're doing. You can't do things without presence. If you're really present in what it is you're doing, I'm seeing it as children find magic in the world because they're looking for it. How are you going to look for the magic? And where are you going to look for it? And are you looking within? So I'm going to love and leave you right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing because we love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out Spirit if you're looking for some high quality 888 grade gemstones. It's a small family owned business that handcraft these beautiful bracelets. They have obelisks now that are out. They also have crystal spheres, necklaces, earrings. Literally the opportunities are bountiful and plentiful. It reminds me of this video. I'm not even going to get into it. What did she say? Something like, and anyway, there's 2 discount codes in the description box. She was like, something around the beautiful view that you've created. She said, how did you create such a bountiful harvest? I don't remember what she said, but it was so funny. Anyway, I'm gonna love and leave you right there. Maybe that's how, people are going to be questioning you in many ways, right? How did you create your life to become such a bountiful harvest? And is it because you saw that cornucopia within yourself all along?